Hey guys, welcome back to Keeping Up with the Flint Water Crisis. My name is Liv Lee once again. I am a biomedical engineering major here at the University of Kentucky. And hopefully the video previously to mine gave you guys like a little bit of background of what the Flint water crisis really entails. But today I'm going to talk to you about something a little bit different. Today, I'm going to be talking about the medical and health side of the Flint water crisis, which are the health issues that rose and the illnesses that were most popular during the Flint water crisis. I will be also talking about certain diseases and how they affect the body. Also, I will be talking about how the illnesses affected the people as a whole, like mentally and everything, and all the raps that people got from it. So if you're interested in learning a little bit more about the health side, then please continue on watching and we'll dive right into the video. Just a little more information about lead poisoning. It is more dangerous for children to be subjected to lead poisoning because they can absorb 4 to 5 times more lead than adults can. The way that lead poisoning works, according to the World Health Organization, is once the lead enters the body, it spreads to your brain, your kidneys, and your liver. The lead then stores in your teeth and your bones. This is where most of the lead accumulates for a certain amount of time. For Legionnaire's disease, this is a different case. For this disease, according to Medical News Today, it is caused by Legionella bacteria that exist in rivers, lakes, and other freshwater places. Unlike lead poisoning, adults are more susceptible to get Legionnaire's disease than children, because older adults, smokers, and people with weakened immune systems are more likely to inhale the bacteria and have it travel farther because their immune system is so weak. So now I'm going to dive in a little bit more on specific things about each disease. To start off, I'm going to start talking about lead poisoning. So I'm going to give you a little bit more information. Some might wonder, why even is lead poisoning such a bad disease? I'm going to tell you. Well, according to the World Health Organization, lead exposure can have very serious health consequences for children. If a child were to be exposed to high levels of lead, it can attack their brain and central nervous system. This can cause to put them in a coma, convulsions, and even death. If a child were to be able to survive a severe case of lead poisoning, they could be left with a mental disability or even behavioral issue. It can become very dangerous because some of the symptoms are not always clear. If lead poisoning is not treated correctly, it can have very serious health effects on your brain. The health effects on the brain include intelligence quotient, also known as somebody's IQ level. The IQ level will be severely reduced. It can also affect someone's attention span by reducing it by a very, very large amount. In some cases, according to the World Health Organization, lead exposure can lead to amnesia, hypertension, which is a big fancy word for abnormal blood pressure, renal impairment, another fancy word for kidney disease, and immunotoxicity. Immunotoxicity is a really big word for having large effects on the functioning immune system. Now I'm going to get into Legionnaire's disease. Legionnaire's disease, according to Medical News Today, was first documented in 1976. Legionnaire's disease is a very big word that can be simplified to pneumonia. It's a pneumonia-like illness that can affect the lungs, which in some cases can be very fatal. This disease can be very hard to diagnose because it is so similar to pneumonia. The symptoms and signs of Legionnaire's disease usually appear between 2 and 10 days after the initial infection. Symptoms include chills, cough, headaches, confusion, and high fever. Sometimes the fever can even get up to 105 degrees. According to Medical News Today, around 1 in 3 infected patients will experience nausea, vomiting, and even diarrhea. Also, respiratory failure can occur. Respiratory failure means that the body does not get enough oxygen from the lungs to function everything else in the body properly. Just like lead poisoning, there can be kidney failure from this disease due to the accumulation of fluids and waste that are in the blood. The last complication that somebody can get from untreated Legionnaire's disease is that someone can go into septic shock. Septic shock is a sudden drop in someone's blood pressure and there isn't a sufficient amount of blood that is reaching the organs, like the major ones, the brain and the kidney. There's another spectrum of illness that is very important, but I still haven't touched base on. This is the mental illness side. According to the New York Times, many people in Flint now have a large uncertainty about their own health and the health of their children. Dr. Nicole Laurie said, "The first thing I noticed when I got into Flint, quite honestly, was the level of fear and anxiety of distress, simply because the people were so worried about their own children's health." Also, in the New York Times article, it states how the behavioral health specialist from the United States Public Health Service visited the city of Flint. They began to see how bad the mental side hurt the people of Flint. They started to provide psychological first aid training for the people that wanted to help citizens get over it and kind of cope with everything that was going on. Diane Breckenridge, who is a Genesis Health advisor, stated how she had seen many cases come into the hospital for even just something simple as nervous breakdowns. Many people even say that they feel like they can't even give their children a bath without having to be worried. So I know I just threw a ton of information at you guys, and I hope that you guys understood at least a little bit of what I was talking about. I tried to break it down just a little bit so it would be a little bit more easy to understand. I know that the topic of health issues can be very overwhelming because it seems scary that that could even happen to you. Topic overwhelming because the amount of information I just threw at you guys, but it's also a very hard and heavy topic. Many people don't understand how the diseases can affect the people, but hopefully throughout this video, I was able to inform you a little bit more on the health issues that Flint had to deal with. If you have any questions, make sure to leave a comment below. Again, my name is Liv, and I hope you guys stay on our channel to keep on watching for more information about the Flint crisis. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.